I've owned this bike for nearly a decade. Custom built, Reynolds steel frame, modern Shimano group set. Built by the legends at Paradise Cycles in Bethnal Green. Shout out Paradise Cycles. And until about 2 weeks ago, I genuinely had no idea how bikes actually worked mechanically. I rode this thing all over London for years. Through rain, winter grime, commutes, absolute abuse. And my maintenance routine basically consisted of pumping up the tyres. That's it, no joke. Which becomes slightly concerning when your next step is attempting a City and Guilds qualification in cycle mechanics. I wanted this video to document my genuine starting point because I think it's easy to accidentally edit out the beginner phase, and I'm very much still in the beginner phase. Back in 2017, I had this bike custom built. We chose a late 80s steel frame and rebuilt it with modern components. I absolutely loved it. Still do. But despite being weirdly proud of owning a custom bike, I never really learned how to properly look after it. If something went wrong, it was straight back to Paradise Cycles. Puncture? Them. Service? Them. Strange noise? Also them. And after becoming mostly home-based for work, the bike just sat downstairs in storage for years just gathering dust. I actually pulled it out recently to film some footage, and that was the moment I realised just how bad its condition had become. The rubber on the hoods literally started breaking apart in my hands. Before starting the full City and Guilds qualification, the training provider suggested I could technically jump straight in at level 2, but that it would help to already know the basics. And considering my current expertise lies somewhere between enthusiastic commuter and helpless child, I went ahead and booked 2 one-day maintenance courses. The Essentials course covered things like removing wheels, fixing punctures and balancing brakes, which all sounded fairly basic, until I realised I'd been doing most of them pretty badly for years. And honestly, even removing and reinstalling a tyre properly was kind of a revelation. I'd always kind of brute forced it before, but once someone showed me the correct technique, suddenly it became so much easier. One of those tiny moments to make you go, oh. The advanced day stepped things up quite a bit, replacing gear and brake cables, indexing gears, understanding derailleur setup, cable tension, limit screws, wheel truing, and that's when I started realising the true scale of what proper bike mechanics actually involves. Every adjustment affects something else. These 2 sessions did 2 things simultaneously. They made me far more confident, but they also made me far more aware of how much I don't know. The full qualification is another level entirely. 10 full days, 8 hours a day, daily assessments, proper consequences if you fail a module, and apparently the final assessment is a full strip down and rebuild of a bike, which suddenly makes my own neglected bike project feel very real. The thing I didn't expect from these courses was just how energizing they felt. I've worked in learning and development for nearly 17 years, and a huge part of that job was helping other people experience those little eureka moments that make learning addictive. And honestly, I can't actually remember the last time I felt one of those moments myself. But during these courses, I had several of them. Tiny moments when something suddenly just clicks, and your brain immediately wants the next one. So right now I'm somewhere between excited and slightly intimidated because there's just so much to learn, and I can already tell this is going to get overwhelming at times. But I also know that if I stick with it, these are real practical skills that could be useful for life. And for the first time in quite a while, I'm honestly excited to be a beginner again. So up next is the actual course. Exciting and probably stressful times ahead. I'll see you in a bit.